your own control. Politicians and celebrities make deals behind closed doors, promises broken, and their income soars. Hidden agendas run the grand parade. In the circus, choose to masquerade. Believe me, I wouldn't lie. I've been given money, power, and fame to keep you in line.
Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely, what day is it? Wednesday, Thursday, a lovely Thursday. Today, we're going to be talking about the secret lives of female influencers because I wanted to do like a casual type of stream today or like this week because I'm a little lazy. And I'm like, what can I talk about that I know about that I can just speak about without having to do 5,000 hours of research and all of this stuff because I just didn't feel like doing that this week. Not this week. Anyways, so hope you all are having a great day. We're going to be getting into the different types of female influencers. And I am talking mainly about, what would have been Instagram influencers back when I was doing it, like what kinds there were, what were the different personality types that you could find. And I'm sure a lot of this translates to today's influencers, even though I have not been an Instagram person for a little bit now, like maybe like 4 years or so, maybe less. I don't remember exactly, maybe 2 years. I don't know. So I haven't really, and I kind of took down everything, but I was in this for a while. I also had a media company for bloggers and Instagram influencers. So I met a ton of them. I know a lot about them. And there are definite archetypes of female influencers. So in case you want to know, like maybe you want to date one, maybe you want to be one. I don't know. Maybe you just want to know if like you should become one and if they're fun or cool to hang out with. So we'll be talking about that. All right. So the first type of influencer that you have would be your Instagram fashion influencer. Now, a lot of them have blogs plus Instagram or maybe a YouTube channel plus Instagram, but you know what I mean. We'll call them Instagram influencers just for the sake of conversation. Maybe nowadays it's more TikTok, who knows? So the fashion ones, these are going to be your average everyday girl that dresses very, very well. Like they have a sense of style that I don't have. They got it. I don't have that. So anyway, so they know how to put together outfits and all that stuff. They are more fun. They can be a little bitchy. They're gossipy. These are the type of girls that are going to care about who you know. They're very networky, trying to rise above the ranks. Who do you know? Do you know so-and-so? Oh my gosh, these type of chicks. So they're always looking to kind of use people to get a step up in their career, which, whatever, career, I guess it is a career. But anyways, they kind of always want something. I'm not saying all. We're doing archetypes here. So please, if you're like, I know someone who's not like that and they do, we're not talking about every single person. There's something called nuance. There's something called on average. There's something called my opinion. So that's what we're talking about. If you want somebody else's opinion, you can go to them. But anyways, so these type of girls, I find that they're always your friend as long as they can use you for something, or if you can get into better events than them, like they'll be your friend or whatever. The next type of influencer you have is the spoiled daughters. Now, these tend to be daddy's girls. These are very much daddy's girls. And I love a daddy's girl. I am one. So like, I can't say anything bad about it, but these are the spoiled daddies. So like they have some money. Maybe they don't even have money, but what little money they have goes to the daughter because the dad is very much like a girl dad, whatever. These are the types of girls that are never going to settle for less. They either end up with the most amazing and wonderful, successful, kind, good, strong, powerful, moral men who adore them, or they end up alone because, we all can't end up with what we want to end up with, right? That's the reality of life. You're not always going to end up with what you want. So anyways, so the spoiled daughter archetype of influencer, I personally love them. I think they're very good people. I think they have very strong morals. From what I have seen, they have very strong morals. They go for what they want. They're like, this is how my dad treats me. I'm not going to put up with someone who doesn't treat me like that. And I feel like if you're the type of guy who can handle like actually protecting and providing and taking care of a very good girl, you want a spoiled daughter. You really do, because these are girls that they like to keep themselves nice into old age. They're very cute. They're very sweet. They're very family oriented girls. They're not just daddy's girls. They're family girls because they like their family of origin. They want someone to come into their family and to be like, the next, like the replacement for their father and their family. So they're looking for the next figurehead of their family. And they always come from like pretty successful or very tight-knit, good families. So I really like the spoiled daughter archetype. I know a lot of people don't like spoiled people, but I think you're wrong. I think women should be spoiled, because if not, that's like a whole nother problem, but that's for another day. Anyways, the next archetype, I'm just going to say rich families, because believe it or not, they are male and female influencers. So I'm just going to say rich families, or like people who come from rich, successful families, especially like the girls, they'll come from it. And these are not like as spoiled. They're not as loved. They don't come from good, supportive families. They just come from money. So they're going to have a different mentality about life. They come from money. They're given money. They're given opportunities because of where they come from. But sometimes when, let's say, the parents of these people came from nothing, they don't want to give their children or their daughter even anything. Or maybe it's like the mother made all the money, and women don't like to give other women money. I don't know. It's this. I'm just speaking from what I've seen. Okay. So if you disagree, that's okay. I don't care. So the rich family archetype, I would say they come from money, but they're trying to make a name for themselves because they're going to get cut off. Like these are the people who are like, time's ticking. They're used to a certain lifestyle, but their parents, either one or both of them, I don't know if sometimes they're together, sometimes they're not together, one or both of them is about to cut these people off. So they're like, I don't want to go and be a regular person because I'm used to a certain lifestyle. So now I'm going to like hustle and try to make a name for myself or whatever. So they go to influencing. And usually they're kind of like flexing their parents' wealth. Like their parents didn't get them anything. They didn't buy them a new car. They didn't do this, but they all pretend the house is theirs, the car is theirs. It's kind of silly, but that would be the rich family archetype. The next archetype that I see a lot of in the influencer community is the married rich female. Now, this is someone who may or may not come from anything. They may be like middle class, upper middle class, whatever, but maybe they didn't come from wealth. And they married into a rich family, or they married someone who is rich now. So they're trying to figure out, because they don't have to work, right? Like that's key. They don't have to work. So they're trying to figure out society and having a style and networking with people who are in the upper echelons of society. And influencers do kind of go in these circles. So this type of influencer, they kind of are stumbling into things, but they're learning as they go. They're not as selective in the beginning of who they hang out with, and then they kind of get selective as they get used to like the backstabbing and all the stuff that happens in the influencer community. And then you have the married comfortable. So this is like you're not rich, but you're chill, you're happy. You don't really know the rules of society yet because you're not rich, so you're not there, but you're in this situation where you're surrounded by all these people and you're trying to learn how to navigate. And they could be really nice to the wrong people, and they don't really know how to be fake. And sometimes they might say things that are a little off color and get them in trouble. And as you know, like this would be me, married but comfortable, right? They don't know how to mean girl. Sometimes they learn, sometimes they don't. I don't know if I've learned how to mean girl. I think I'm learning how to mean girl, but I'm not in that situation anymore. But I think I could do it now. Just because like I'm tired, I'm old, and I'm cranky. Anyways, next we have like the hot, trashy influencer. So these are like, they're just hot. They're hot. They're usually come from nothing. They come from, but they are just smoking, right? But they are kind of trashy, like the mouths of sailors. They're kind of embarrassing to be around. They're very loud. They're very rude. They're very trashy. How do I say this nicely? They're trashy. They're hot. Like if they were quiet, you'd be like that. Wow, they're hot. But then they start talking and you're like, oh my God, you're trashy. And you kind of don't want to hang out with them, but they're pretty to look at. They stop getting invited to the very high end events because the reputation kind of precedes you after a while in these events, and people start to know each other, and people don't want to invite certain people that are like super trashy. So eventually they kind of get cut out of a lot of things. The next you have like hot, but with filters, trashy, right? So this is like, you're not really hot, but you can do a lot of filters, heavy on the makeup, heavy on like the product. Maybe your eyelashes are like as big as a hand, like you're like that type of girl. Now, I call them hot with filters. So like Instagram is all about filters, especially back in the day. So these people are highly edited. So hot with filters, trashy. They look bloated in real life with filters, bumpy. Their face is bumpy. They're kind of botched looking bodies. There's like BBL damage. They look good when you smooth them out for camera, but not in real life. But somehow I'm telling you, these girls are still super stuck up and they think they're better than everyone and they think they look amazing. Yes, believe in yourself. I have filters on all the time. I'm kidding. I don't know. I have lights on. If you put really bright lights, you don't see how old I am. That's the important part for video. Video is a lot easier. For pictures, you need filters. I think you could get away with lights only on camera. Anyways. Okay, so the next archetype of Instagram influencer females you can find is the butterface trashy. So they have a banging bod, naturally, not a BBL, banging bod. Like I've seen these girls in bikinis, you know what I'm saying? Banging. But the face is not facing. So like, butterface. Now, they don't get super high-end events, but they'll get like basic events or events where like they want girls to wear slutty clothes and stuff like that, So they'll definitely they're not very loud or whatever, like the ones that I'm talking about, the ones that I have seen. Anyways, but like, we can't always have everything. Some people have the body, some people have the face. Not everybody gets both. So I would call them the butterface, but they have not like a thin body. This is not what I'm talking about. They're not like butterface with a thin body. No. None of those really get anything. This is butterface with trashy, and the trashy means they are curvaceous naturally. All right. The next one, you have the Victoria's Secret model bodies. So they have really good face. They are smart. They are beautiful. They are very careful about who they speak to, what they say, and where they go. They need constant protection. Everybody wants to traffic these girls. They are so freaking beautiful. Some of them that I've met are Victoria's Secret models. Some of them just look like Victoria's Secret models. And they are absolutely beautiful. I'm telling you, stunning inside and out. And I know that's very hard for people to hear because we want to think that perfect looking people are terrible inside to feel better about our like basic bitch selves. But the reality is these are some of the most smart, intelligent, amazing, kind, considerate people I have met have been exceptionally. Now I have met non-Instagram personalities that are very beautiful and they're not smart or interesting, or there's nothing going on behind the eyes, but I've never seen them in the Instagram community. That's the difference, right? They don't go to events. I don't know what they do. Anyways, overall, the Victoria's Secret model type girl can be very lonely because people are constantly trying to destroy her life, and they get really, I don't know, they get very jaded about trying to make friends with people. It's very hard for them to make friends. If they make friends with anyone, they'll be jealous of them. And you know how vicious girls can be. So they're kind of lonely. So the more beautiful and kind and wonderful you are as one of these chicks, it's not a good outcome. Anyways, then we have your unattractive alcoholics. They are fake, looking fake all the way up and down. They love going to these events because they get free food and free alcohol, unlimited free alcohol. Yes, all of these events, free alcohol. So an alcoholic chick is gonna love this. So sometimes it's like a really, really old chick that's like 1,000 years past her prime, but she filters herself like she's 20 and somehow, I think, pays for bots or whatever or something, and then gets somehow a following and gets invited to these things. But like, I would call them all unattractive alcoholics. They're fake. Some of them are insane. I would say avoid them at all costs. Ugh. Okay, the next you have the foodies. Now, these are not super hot people. They're regular people like you and me, but they are super sweet. They are awesome. Foodie Instagram girls are top tier, kind, fun. You want to invite them to all your parties. They're always a good time at parties. They like they're good to chat with on the phone. Like, they have good conversation. They're great dinner party guests. They're very kind. They're usually in like amazing relationships, solid relationships with people, with guys that like love them and are like super supportive and like excited for life. Like, these are, I don't know, like, everybody wants to be super thin and hot and stuff like that. But when you see like the foodie Instagram people and you meet them, you're like, these people are like good people. They have like way better lives than most people, I would say. Anyways, then your next up is your Instagram selling goods influencer. So this is like your chick that sells makeup, skincare, arts and crafts. These are also very sweet, kind-hearted people. I've never met a mean one who makes stuff. I've never met a jealous one who makes stuff. I've never, like, these are people who are like, they're not just going off their looks, they're actually doing something creative. And I think they are very smart because they know looks fade. So don't make your business off your looks, make it off of something. And they're doing it off of that. So I think it's really good. They're very helpful. They're always like cheering each other on. I love them. Anyways, then you have your solo travel female influencer, right? So this is the girl that maybe she goes around to different hotels, takes pictures. Maybe she goes around to different, I don't know, cruises, or, you know, travels around the world, or does excursions, or whatever, local travel, international travel. There's some that just focus on like one country, traveling around it, or one state or one city. Like, there's many types of travel solo influencers. I would say like the local travel influencers tend to actually be locals for that area and tend to be pretty chill, normal people, like regular people. Now I did a little bit of fashion. I sold stuff online, and I also did foodie type stuff with my sister because she has a foodie Instagram. So I also made my own little foodie one, and we did like foodie events together, and fun times, good people, free food. Hey guys, free food. So like, I like the whole foodie Instagram people. I think they're fun. I think they're nice. And what's not to like? You're getting free food and you're hanging out with really nice people. So that's like a good niche if you're interested. Guys and girls can do it. It's not like a gendered thing. Okay, the next one is the travel couple. Now, this one is a little spicy because I see a lot of dysfunction with travel couples. So this could be like a couple, that they're like a couple influencer, or they're like, there's two types. There's the couple goals influencers. Cringe, right? Cringe. They're always fighting. They're always fighting. And then there's a couple travel influencer. Again, always fighting. These people are nuts, because imagine they can't have like a sincere moment, because everything is like for pictures. And like, I'll notice some of them will like try to talk to you, and they'll be like, the other one will be like, don't talk to that person because they can't do anything for us, or they don't have enough followers. Like, they're very like superficial. They're very like, they come off as, we're so enlightened, we're so nice, we're so kind. And these are like the most toxic people ever. So I would stay away from couples who travel and couple goal creators, because they are not what they pretend to be. So you have to be really careful. And so many people will like follow these types of people, and then in real life, they're a train wreck. So be careful out there. All right, next up. Let's talk about how photographers play into the influencer game. So if you want to be an influencer, you need to have a photographer. Even with AI and all that crap now, it's not good enough. I think you need a photographer to take, even if you're going to edit the crap out of them later, you need a photographer. I do not have an Instagram anymore. I am old. I am retired. I do want to maybe in the future do like a food Instagram again, because I just miss going to free food events. Who wouldn't? That's the only thing. The only thing I miss about the Instagram crap is the food events, because like the makeup, the hair products, this products, all those other events, it's kind of like going back to high school, and I hated high school, so I don't really like those events. But let's talk about photographers. So photographers are a big part of these influencers' lives. So a lot of them will share photographers or refer people to different photographers, right? So if you're a guy and you want a cute chick, learn photography, because it's still a skill. You can get like one of those digital type, there's like Sony digital cameras or whatever, like compact mirrorless cameras, but they're still high quality. You can do that and just learn how to like take a good composition to make women look flattering, and they will hire you, pay you a couple $100 to follow them around, to go to these events for free, where not only they're there, but there's other beautiful girls there, and most of them are single. Let's just be honest. Anyways, so you can go hang out with all of these beautiful girls just by taking pictures, and you're going to get paid, and you're going to get referrals. And I mean, if I were a single guy in my 20s, like I haven't made any money or whatever, and I'm like, I can do something on the weekends, I would totally be like into that. Anyways, the next is, let's talk about the males that kind of like orbit the female influencers. A lot of them were, I would say, male narcissists, manipulators, or like really smart guys who did the photography trick to like meet like beautiful girls. But most of the guys that are influencers are like insane, and like there's something wrong with them. So I would definitely like, unless you're a photographer, then you're cool. But when you're a guy who's an influencer, I think there's definitely something not good there. There's something wrong. They're all super narcissists and super insane. Just my opinion. All right. The next is, everybody thinks that like it's possible to get organic likes, subscribes, comments, and all that stuff. Like if you're an influencer, all of them. And I mean this so much, all of them were paying and pretending they were not paying for likes and subscribes. Okay. They were all paying for them. There's no chick who just shows her shoes and whatever pictures that's got 100,000 or 1 million followers. It's just, unless you're like half nude, then maybe it's organic, but it's going to be guys. The thing is, people are paying these, like say fashion influencers. They're paying the fashion and the skincare influencers to reach women. So they look at your following, make sure it's women. So you can't really just show your boobs because you're just going to attract men. And that's not going to give you any paid gigs because they're hip to that now. They know guys don't buy makeup. Guys don't buy women's fashion. They know that. So like they're going to look at the following, make sure it's women. So the only way to get that organically, because women hate each other, is to pay for it. So they're paying for like fake accounts to follow them, bots and stuff like that. The next is to get the likes and the comments and like the positive comments. They either pay for that for like a service to do it, or because sometimes they do both. They join these comment pods. So the comment pods are when like all the influencers, like when you go to an influencer event, they're all going to like switch in like information for that. Join my pod. You're like, what the crap is a pod? It is a comment like exchange. So what they do is it's like tit for tat. Like I'm going to like your comment. You're going to like my comment. I'm going to comment on your comment. You're going to comment. And that's why you get all these detailed like praising comments. It's all fake bullshit. That's from the comment pods because the majority of women will never comment anything nice on anybody else's thing. That's just how it goes. Most comments that are genuine are from Indian men being thirsty on Instagram. Can we just say what it is? Your friends are not going to comment nice things because they secretly are jealous of you. How dare you go on that trip? I didn't get to go on a trip this year, So yeah, positive comments, people are paying for them. All right. Or they're doing the comment pods. Next is the goodie bags at the events and the free stuff, right? A lot of influencers, like when I'm organizing events for that, they're going to say, how much is the goodie bag worth? Right? Like, can I resell this crap? Basically, like, is this worth my time? So like the average goodie bag has to be at least $50, usually to like 50 to 100, sometimes to 200 or whatever for like the average influencer. Now, if you have a lot of following, it'll go up to maybe like $500, $600, $700, right? So these girls are getting paid in stuff, which is dumb when you think about it. But I don't know. It is what it is. These events look good when you have beautiful young girls around. So it makes the event look better and it makes it look like there's a buzz around it. So yeah, like they are paying those girls with free stuff. Sorry. All right. So yeah. Then they have like these entertainment local newspapers and entertainment who's who websites and just like, local type magazines and stuff. And I remember I was at like a doctor's office or something like that. And they had like a local Miami, one of these newspaper things. And it's supposed to be like the who's who in entertainment, like the what the wealthy and the beautiful are doing. I opened this up. I kid you not. I'm looking at all my friends. These are all broke chicks that just happen to have Instagrams. And I'm like, oh my God, these are all my friends. And like, the doctor's like, what? This is supposed to be like, like the wealthiest people. I'm like, no, all these chicks are broke in this magazine. They're all broke. I'm in here too. Look, see, I'm broke. It's just you're young and you're hot and you're getting invited to events. And it makes it look like Miami has a lot of rich, young, beautiful people, but it's just a bunch of like young, beautiful, broke chicks that go to these events in exchange for makeup, hair products, candles, garbage like that. I remember turning down so many like, oh, come and host an event for us at our new store opening. We'd love, your content or some garbage. And then I'm like, how much are you going to pay me? And they're like, oh, pay you? Oh my God, it's for the opportunity. I'm like, no, pay. pay? And they're like, well, we have this candle. It's $300 retail. I'm like, no, I don't want a freaking candle. Give me the $300. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so that's what it's like for them. Oh, the other thing is like at these events, you will see the usually like the owners who run the companies, right? So if it's like a big company, like some of the owners will be there. So you'll see like these old wealthy dudes. And then you'll see like maybe their kids. So these young, dorky, wealthy kids. And you'll see some rich housewives and maybe some plastic surgeons or something moving around and networking. And you'll see some models. You'll see some male models. Sometimes they invite them. But I get the feeling sometimes there'll be like a bar. Oh, there's a bar in every single event because they're trying to get all these young, hot chicks drunk. So there's a bar over there, and there'll be like a bunch of like these dorky, wealthy dudes, right? Like hanging out at the bar, holding drinks, kind of staring at the chicks. And they kind of want to go and talk to the chicks. And when they try, the chicks are so mean and they just like insult them. And I'm like, okay, like obviously I'm not interested, but like these girls are all single. And if a guy comes up to you when you're single, you would think they'd want to talk to them to see if like there's something there. But no, it's like they're like, they don't look Instagrammable, is literally what these chicks will say to me. They don't look Instagrammable. I'm like, his dad has a yacht. Are you guys smart or like what? Like not most people are going to be, look, I don't know how to tell you guys, but most people are going to be like ugly after like 35. Like you're going to be hideous. The majority of people are going to be hideous after 35. Okay. Maybe you have some longevity and it's 45. Either way, you're going to be hideous. You're going to be hideous more than you're going to be hot and young. All right. So like this whole thing, like I can't go up to a guy unless he looks good on my Instagram is like the mind melt of this generation. It's the mind, and it frustrates me so much because if you were smart, you would just go with like the short, kind of obese, let's be honest, but wealthy guy who looks really nice, looks like a nice guy. Like sometimes I would talk to them. Like they would come up to my young, hot 20s friends and they would try to talk to them. And then the girls would be mean and I would feel bad. So I'd be like, you know, like the mom, like, let me go cheer him up so he knows to try better next time. and I'd be like, you know, I'm sorry about them. You know, like they're young and stupid and like they're just rude and whatever. Like, don't take it personally. And they'd be like, yeah, you know, no problem, whatever. But like these are nice, normal guys. These are not jerks. They're not assholes. They're not like whatever. But like, I don't know what's wrong with these girls today. Anyways, so the other thing is they, you know, I think this goes without saying, but you know that they're lying. Like Instagram influencers are lying about every product that they promote, every single one. Oh, the other thing is they get a little spoiled because if they want to go on a trip somewhere, they literally call up the hotel and say, I'm an influencer. Here's all my stuff. I'm going to be in town this day to this day. I'm looking for a hotel and I will give you this many pictures, this many tags, this many reels, this many this, and these are my followers or whatever. And more times than not, the hotel will say, yeah, sure. And they'll put them up in like a room that they had empty or whatever. Anyways, like if they have available, they'll just do that. And it's wild because they get into some really nice places for free. The other thing is, for like road trips and stuff, they get cars for free. So you know how like you and I, if we want to go on a road trip, we have to rent a car. They get paid like maybe $2,000 to go on a 3-day road trip, and they get the car for free with insurance and everything. from like these car companies so that they can promote the car. So they'll be like, like, oh my God, I'm going on my trip with my new whatever the car. I don't know anything about cars. What's a car? I don't even know a name of a car. I don't care. Anyways, like my new, I can't even make up a name of a car. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, they will do that. So when you see them driving out with these cars, that's not their car. They didn't buy that car. It's not anything to do with them. They're going to be talking about how great it is. And I feel like a lot of people get, especially other girls, get sucked into all of this fakeness because this is a trap of the influencer. So you have the girls influencing. They're not really making money. Most of them, they just have money or they're just doing this in hopes of someday getting money. But the reality is most of them either have money or they married into money. So they're not doing it for money. They're doing it as something to do, like a hobby for them. But the girls who are coming in think that this can eventually lead to a career. So they do all these things and it's very like up and down. So like 1 month you make money, the next month you don't make money. And it's really up and down like that. Or you just get paid in product and you can't pay rent with product. The other thing is a lot of girls end up burning out because they need to eventually get a job. And they have to go and do that. And the other thing that I see a lot is not everybody's really good at business. So they have a hard time negotiating with the brands, percentages and commissions and all that stuff. So it's a lot of work. If you want to actually be an influencer and make a living, it's so difficult because they just want to give you product. That's what they want to do. They want to give you product for free. They don't want to give you $1. So to get the dollar, you have to really, really like do a ton of work. And it's a lot of back and forth with the company. Redo this, redo that over and over. Sometimes you could be spending weeks redoing one stupid reel before you get paid $100. And it's not even worth it if you ask me. But some people do make a couple thousand for like a reel, but they have been doing it for so long for no money in the start. So that's why it's only for like rich people who are bored who can kind of pursue this, because you can't expect to make money right away. It could take 10 years. It's really crazy like that. But they don't tell you that. So they come in, they think that they'll be able to work their way up. They think they're the only ones who are having to pay these bots to spam their accounts. They think it's just them, but it's all of them. It's even the ones you think for sure they got to have a fault. No, it's bots too. Yeah, so it's just like smoke and mirrors. And the reality is they are selling. The people who are buying the products and stuff are the people who want to be influencers. So it's kind of like a snake eating its own tail because they're faking being an influencer, faking like they have a career doing it, making maybe a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 every now and then to convince other girls to do this. And the other girls are like watching it like, oh, I have to buy this product. I'll buy the product. I'll talk about the product and then I'll get offered other product stuff to talk about. Like that's how I'll become an influencer too. So these brands know that the influencer that they give the product to is going to get other wannabe influencers, like 40, 50, 60 girls that want to be influencers to buy that product and then talk about it for free. So even though they're just paying one person, it's like 20 people are going to be advertising that one product just to keep up with that one girl, because that's how women work. Everything is a competition. Oh, you're talking about that? Well, I'm going to talk about a better skincare line. Oh, you're talking about that? I'm going to talk about a better this. The same thing. Anyways. So the other thing that people don't understand is influencers get free beauty treatments. Now I do miss this. I miss it because like I'm old now. I don't think like I would qualify anymore because like you got to be 20 because you have to have like a beautiful before. Like they're basically paying for the before. They will even like screw up your no, wait, they're paying for like a good after. So they will screw up your before photo to make you look worse. so that your after photo looks even better. So like sometimes the after photo is real and the before photo is the fake one, right? So you'll go in to get like facials, you go in to get like Botox or treatments or peels or fake lashes or lip injections or all this crap. All of that's for free. And yeah, all free. Like I didn't do any of that stuff, let's be real, but I got massages for free, like spa treatments. So I got facials and massages and like laser hair removal and yeah, peels and fun stuff like that, which, you know, chicks like that stuff. So calm down. But anyways, I love the massages the best. The massages are amazing. I got so many massages that were so amazing. I kid you not. I would get 2-hour massages for free where they would like throw rose petals on you and crazy shit like that. And I'm just like, this is great. Okay. I'm get like massages with like 2 girls massaging like each foot, another girl like massaging your shoulders, and somebody else throwing rose petals for 2 hours. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm very relaxed. Oh my God. Anyways, I still think about those massages sometimes. It was a good time. I was so relaxed back then. Yeah. See, I don't get massages now because like Steve doesn't give me massages because he's like, I work all day. I'm tired. It almost makes you want to like try to become an influencer to get free massages. I'm telling you, I think that's worth it. But it's just, I don't want to talk about skincare. And you kind of have to do both if you want to do the whole beauty crap. Anyways. Oh, the other thing, I didn't do this stuff, but like I know about this stuff, and Steve's friends did this stuff, and they were promoters in clubs, so they would find girls who do this stuff. It's like a little side quest. So the clubs in Miami will pay these influencers to sit in the clubs to make the clubs look busy and to make the clubs look like there's beautiful young girls there, right? So when you go to one of these Miami clubs and you see these beautiful girls, half of them are going to be escorts. We know that they're going to say how much. The other half, when you go to talk to them, they're going to get mad and blow you off. And that is because they're usually married or have a boyfriend or just think people in clubs are desperate losers. And they're only there to get paid. And they get paid very well. So if you are a beautiful girl, a beautiful young girl, you can sit in a club from, I think it's like 10 to midnight and make $400, $500, sometimes $600 if you're hot enough. If you're like VIP worthy, like they'll put you in the VIP section. You just kind of sit there. They could pay you up to like $600-$700 just to sit there for 2-3 hours, just to make it look busy and like there's beautiful girls in the club. So that's another way that they make money. Now, the girls that I have seen that have done this, they absolutely hate anybody who comes up to them. They're disgusted by them. They don't meet people in clubs. They don't go to clubs. They're only there because they need the money because they're trying to pay off their student loan debt or whatever. And they're just like, you know, I really need you. It's hard to say no to $500-$600 to sit in a chair. Oh, and then they look like they're drinking alcoholic beverages the whole night. But the club gives them basically like soda drinks the entire night for free. So it looks like they're drinking alcohol, but they're not. Yep. That's right. Anyways, the next thing is designer bags. You know how like all these chicks started getting into these designer bags and it's like you don't even have any money? Like, what are you talking about? You're broke. Like this bag is $100,000. What are you doing with it? And it's because they give certain influencers designer bags for free to promote them. So the influencer maybe they have to promote them in like 40 or 50 posts. So they might be a fashion influencer and like 40 or 50 outfits have the same bag in it. And you think, oh, that's just their favorite bag. I bet it's wonderful. But it's like, no, that's a part of the promotion. They're trying to promote these bags. And remember, luxury bags and shoes and all this bull crap is for the middle class. It is promoted for the middle class to waste all of their money on, to try to look like they have money by not having any money. That's the way the world is, okay? It's fun. So anyways, I do not have a designer bag in case anybody's wondering. All right, the next is they get free, a whole bunch of cool stuff. The skincare is terrible because a lot of times we'll all get reactions from the skincare, but we still promote it because they're paying really well. So it's not good. I refuse to do that because I didn't need to work for money, but I know like they needed to. So like I'm not, no shade against them, but this is the game. The next is you can get not only free hotels, but you can get flights and free flight upgrades if you're an influencer. There is also an app that you have to give them, I think it's like a candid photo, like all angles and stuff of you, plus your photo ID. And you might have to do some sort of meeting with them or something like that. And then they let you on this app. And the whole app is just free stuff you can do in exchange for posting. Right? So, but you have to be hot to get into that. That's the only requirement. You have to be hot. That's why they want to see photos and they want to meet you or like at least, see you virtually to see that you're actually hot. Because if they send you to one of these businesses and the business calls and is like, this chick is not hot, I cannot use her for marketing, then they kick you off. I know. So you better be hot and not be frumpy when you go to these places. It is crazy, the lives of influencers, you guys. So it's no wonder that when women age out, like let's say 35 or whatever, when like they're no longer getting all this stuff for free, it's no wonder that this new generation of women are like, they expect this huge bar of like stuff coming at them because all you have to do is be cute. Or sometimes all you have to do is be cute with filters. And you can get this type of stuff for free. Now, it's not real money, so you still have to have somebody supporting you. Unless you're like one of the very, very few top people, you're going to have to be supporting yourself. But I mean, yeah. Oh, the other thing I did want to tell a story about like the Victoria's Secret events. Just like thinking back on like the Epstein stuff. I was thinking back to one in particular where like in the Victoria's Secret events, they'd be models there, they'd be influencers there, they'd be dudes there, there'd be bars everywhere. It'd be like a rooftop, like Miami rooftop hotel situation. Like it's like with pools and like, people dressed up like as angels and giving hors d'oeuvres and giving you free stuff, like goodie bags everywhere, like a goodie bag buffet with different stalls where you get stuff and like you take a picture with whatever they give you. I like crazy stuff like that, right? So anyways, I remember this one place and they had like a line, but you had to go to, and like this woman would fit you for a bra, which I'm like, okay, like when you go to the Victoria's Secret store, they fit you for a bra over your clothes, right? But like, they're like, no. Go into this back room with this old lady and she's going to fit you bare for a bra. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel kind of uncomfortable. And all the other girls are like, why? It's a woman. Who cares? Just go. This bra is like $100, $200. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go there. And now I'm thinking like, are there freaking videos of this? Like hidden cameras? Probably, right? Like the whole time I'm thinking there's hidden cameras. Is this like a trafficking thing? Are they trying to pick out who they want to traffic? I was old and hideous by then. So like I was not going to get chosen. But like if I was young and hot and dumb, like my God, You think about these things. It could have been nothing. It could have been fine. It could have been totally fine. But you still think about these things like, it's suspicious. Why do I have to take my shirt off to try on? Like, I could just tell you my measurements. Like, what, you don't trust me that I don't know my own bra size? I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a little weird. Anyways, guys, that's all I have today that I can think about. That was my lifestyles of the influencers. I did hear that TikTok is no longer paying people. So if you have very small, a small influence, they're not paying you at all anymore. Even for like a moderate size influence, it's not paying what it used to. So I think they're going to get rid of influencers, and it's going to be like everything else. Like, you have to be like the top tier. So I don't know how long the whole influencing thing is going to go, but then I think my conspiratorial mind goes, I think they just want to get young, hot girls to go to these events. And the carrot of maybe you can get like some free products is enough for a lot of these young girls. And that could be, what they're doing. Yes, I specifically got this one eye thing in the back to like allude to the Illuminati because I thought it was funny. Obviously, I'm too broke to be an Illuminati someday. I'm just kidding. Anyways, that's all that I can think of, guys, unless you guys have any questions about influencing. Yes. So, I think, is there anything else that happened? I do feel like when I think back at all the events and how like there's photographers everywhere and they're trying to get all the girls to drink alcohol, unlimited for free. Think about it. I feel like it could be sketchy. Maybe I'm just like, I think everything is sketchy, but it does feel like it's sketchy. Is it just me? Like if you're like one of these girls and you go there alone, you don't go there with a group of 20 girls, and let's say you're shy and you just start drinking or whatever, things could happen to you. You could go missing. I don't know. I'm just saying. And who are these guys who keep getting invited to the events? I know like it's probably like the owners and the owners' kids and stuff like that, but like there's always like a lot of guys at these events that are not influencers, and they're just kind of like looking at chicks. And I'm like, is this like one of those things you hear about on the internet? Like this conspiracy stuff? I don't know. But then again, it's like that's how clubs work. They make the girls go in for free if they're good looking, and they usually give them free drinks if they're good looking, right? So isn't that the same thing? I do remember I used to get invited to lots of clubs in Miami. I never went, but I would walk with like my boyfriend and my friends up and down, like where they had all the clubs like by the beach, and the bouncers and the club promoters would be like, come in free, just you. And they'd point to me. Now, I'm not trying to brag, but humble brag, okay? Banging. I used to be banging. 20-year-old me was banging. But I still didn't want to go to a club. So now when I think about it, I'm like, who's actually in the club? They must be like literal. What kind of girl goes to a club for real, for real? So it has to be like a girl who's like on vacation, or on vacation who wants to cheat, like some skank. This is just my conspiracy. Like, who goes to clubs? What kind of chick would go to a club? Like, willingly. A chick who wants to cheat. A chick whose boyfriend just broke up with her and she wants to cry, because I've seen a lot of those, let's be honest. Who else? A chick who's being paid to be at the club. She's trying to make money. Or an escort who's at the club to try to, or some girl who just hates guys and is trying to like spike his drink and steal his organs or his wallet or his watch or something. I feel like that's the only type of women who go to clubs. So why would anybody go to a club? Because you have this illusion that there's somehow this type of woman that's not one of those I just listed that would be at a club. It just doesn't happen, you guys. It doesn't happen. No chick is in the club. And I've lived in Miami my whole life, and all the normal, nice girls I know have never been to a club. They just don't go to clubs. So these are escorts and paid chicks. That's it. Maybe they want to steal an organ if you're lucky. That's who's there. So don't go to the club. You got to think about it. Like, if you're smart and you're a girl, you know that every guy there is pretending to have money by getting some like cheap bottle of something. But like, if you're a guy and you're in a club, you're already like saying you're superficial. You don't have any game because you have to go to a club to meet people, which means you don't meet people. You can't just go up to someone in normal circumstances. You need them to be drunk. So I don't know. And I really don't think there's a possibility of hooking up anymore. Maybe like in the 70s. Maybe in the 70s you can hook up, but I don't think nobody hooked up in my time, okay? So I don't know who was hooking up. Like, in my time, nobody was hooking up in the club. A lot of very unfortunately not as smart chicks thought they would find their husbands there, but nobody was hooking up. So I don't know. If they're hooking up now, I don't think they're real. I think they're escorts, and I think they want your organs. Something to think about. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.
World War III, miles away, they're lighting skies to clear the way. No place to run, no place to pray. They read your mind, they make you stay. Techno gods feeding flame. You wore the chains, you take the blame. Heard the long pig skin and wire, cattle born for hellfire. You out so soft, you let them in.